Hey folks, Dude here, coming to you. Still in the process of healing. That's why my voice is still not quite my usual verbose volume. But anyway, I do have a project in line, and I was looking at stuff, and I went online, and I was thinking, self. Yeah, self. I was thinking, I probably should have a better piece of glass sitting on top of the AR-10 project. Now, the AR-10 project, as an extent of anything in 7.62 NATO, it is not gonna be light. That said, I've tried to make some means of not making it ridiculously overweighted.
Your wife has a beak?
But by and large, it's still gonna be a hefty critter. So, I was now looking at glass, and I'm like, you know what? 7.62 really kind of reaches out there quite a bit more than 5.56. Definitely hits with a bit more attitude. And by and large, I probably should have something with a bit more, horsepower. Yeah, watch it, dude. I almost stepped in that. So anyway, I'm looking around online, and I basically was scrounging eBay, and I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I've gotten kind of in this realm of looking at better than not quite terrible, mid-range, not too expensive Chinese scopes. In that extent, there's a number of names. A lot of those things seem to come from the same factory. You look at them side by side, and there is not a whole world of difference. So by and large, you look at one that might be like the Tiger brand. I'm just throwing these names out there. It might be the Tiger brand. Then the other one might be the Eagle brand. Then the other one might be the Falcon brand. And then the other one might be the Screaming Eagle brand. And by and large, by the time you look at all these things, they are really, truly about the same fakaka-doody thing, okay? So anyway, you get these things, you pretty much all drawn out, and they're really not a whole heck of a lot of difference. So anyway, one of the guys that I actually know that does shoot, and I mean, the guy actually is a very, very good shooter. I bought a used hammer scope from him. Read like an 8x32x56, and it is missing, the only thing it's missing is it's missing the illumination knob. Now the biggest thing I can tell you for a fact, the way these things have gone along, they've had a couple generational changes. The original generational change had the illumination knob on top of the eyepiece. The also ran, which is pretty much the one that I currently have and one that I'll be showing later on in the video, has it cocked off 45 degrees, so it looks more like tactical, or like, you know, like a Loophole, or like a US Optics, or like any of the other really premium brands that kind of started doing that stuff. So they're just copying the way these things are built. That said, these things are built hell for stout. How hell for stout are they? Well, let's just see. The scope by itself is the better part of 2 bordering on almost 3 pounds. It is a huge piece of kit. Now, if I was to measure this thing out from, north to south, there is a small sunshade on board, and from north to south, it is 18 inches, or the better part of about, you're talking something in the order of about 60, 70 centimeters almost. I mean, it is a big piece of kit. Now, technically, when you look at stuff, got a scope, how are you going to attach it to the rifle? Well, you actually need to bolt it on board. You can't just stick it on there with some crazy glue and going, yeah, this thing's going to be marvelous. Oh, no! No, you need to actually have a premium, or at least a better than... Yeah, exactly. Better than that. It can't be anything that is just total... Yeah, that. So anyway, looking at these things and, from north to south, dragging them in and playing with them. The scope itself comes with a really... and I do mean really high set of rings. They are cross bolt with thumb knob, 4 Allen screw on top version of clamping force. Looks like they're basically milled out of a, extruded piece of aluminum, and they're not very, very light. I mean, considering what some of the mounting options are, they're actually pretty stout in terms of, like, standard construction. The metallurgy on them... it's probably not the best thing ever. So anyway, you're now stuck with the way and the shape and things that you're looking at them. You're going, okay, now how am I going to bolt this thing on board? Well, I have had, and I turned it over for something else, but I did have a LaRue cross bolt set up I think they call it like the 1.5 or whatever, it's 1.5 scope mount. Now, if you look at this thing, it is constructed in such a way that it is literally lined up on itself in such a way that it zeroes itself up expeditiously. It is absolutely one of the best executions of a very well maintained, bolt together, very good. All right, it is what it is, okay? They are just very, very good stuff. And I can tell you for a fact, LaRue makes premium good stuff. So that same guy that had the hammer scope, I sold him the LaRue scope mount. Now, in talking with him, he said, yeah, man, the thing that's kind of crazy about this hammer is it's not the best scope I've ever had, but he goes, it is repeatable. Now, for anybody that actually shoots, knows how to shoot, and does what they need to do, that's saying something, okay? If somebody can actually shoot and they say a scope is repeatable, that means it's a halfway decent scope. Now, what else is also on this scope? Okay, well, also it does have... That's right, it has thumb adjustable elevation and windage. Also, it has... Oh, that one doesn't click. Nope, that one doesn't... Okay. There's a side focus knob on the side of the scope, so you can adjust from close up to way the hell out there to your limits of magnification. Is it a true 8x32? I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of have this, neighborhood thing that I do where I kind of look out my front door, and when I'm looking at scopes, there's a neighbor's house that's not too far away, but it's a pretty good distance. Maybe about, let's say as a crow flies, maybe about 150, almost 200 yards. And it is pretty good for playing with scopes to figure out how they're actually looking in terms of adjustment. So I ran this thing from base adjustment of 8 power all the way up to 32 power. And I don't know if it was 32 power. It did blow up the image quite a bit, and it stayed clean and clear. The fact that it is a 56 millimeter scope means a lot. That's going to help quite a bit. So what do these things actually look like? Okay, I know I've been dragging this thing out and playing with you guys and showing a couple pictures, but what did I actually get? Well, if I'm going to show you the eBay auctions scope, here's the scope with the standard rings. Okay, now also you see my price of entry, not very low, not very high, used scope, hopefully not in the worst of shape. It does have a slight ding on the objective, so, obviously it has been carried around. It does have some, mounting marks on the tube. Obviously it's been out and around. Looks like it's got a little bit of UV cooking off the finish a little bit. Still in decent shape, glass still looks okay. Hopefully the adjustments all work, so we'll move on from that one and go out smartly. So, looking at the rings that it came with, they're fairly light. As a package, this scope with the rings it came with are not too bad. Now, the knockoff scope mount that I got for it is a LaRue copy. Obviously, screamingly Chinese LaRue copy. Now, I put it on there. That's all well and good. Yes, this is great. Oh, yeah, marvelous. Slight problem with this LaRue knockoff. Let me look here from the objective side, and you guys can take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Does this look like it's going to be a problem?
Look at this nasty ass.
Yeah, just a slight issue. If you look straight ahead, I'm missing about, about half of the stadia lines on the elevation adjustment now.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, so that's all gone. I'm now basically going, well, crap, I don't have full adjustment because I can't see half of it. So anyway, back to the standard rings. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I got something else also as an alternative. And I think I'm probably going to just set it up with one of my, marvelously executed and completely... Okay, yeah, I'm still completely in the bag for arms incorporated scope mounts and rings. Yes, they're not the lightest. Yes, they're not the most in vogue anymore, but yes, I still have a scads of those things. And yes, I'm still completely beholden to them. So yes, they'll probably be going on to that. And when I'm done as a furthest extent, it'll probably look more than a little bit like, maybe a little bit like this. Or maybe it might not work for me and I might set it up so it looks more like this. Fullest expeditiously set up therein. I don't know, man. I gotta tell you right off the bat, there's some of these things look like they're gonna work and then they don't work, and then some of these things are not compatible. The LaRue knockoff has also another major issue. Biggest problem being, of course, is, well, the major fact is it also has a situation they're in where literally the turrets are just too freaking big on this hammer scope to fit this mount very well. So anyway, like I said, I'm probably going to be finding myself mixing it up with the ARMS products, and I really, truly hope this scope shoots. If not, I still can turn it over. All these things are still easy to do. Also, the other thing that was kind of cool is, yes, that's right. They also, these LaRue knockoff rings, scope mount, call it what you will. Also came with plastic inserts, so it will fit a 1-inch scope body besides a 30mm body. So anyway, I'm not completely doing nothing here, but I want to give you guys kind of a heads up. I am still, roaming the planet, still in the healing process. Chest is still not 100%. So obviously my voice is not 100%, but I'm making do, and I'm still here, and I'll get stuff like that there. So anyway, case in point, we'll move out smartly, and I'll have a final version to show you guys. And of course have it mounted up on the AR-10, but I can't shoot a heavy recoiling rifle for a while yet because unfortunately the ribcage is not fully mended as of yet. So healing process they're in. I'm now in the process of waiting for it. I'm not completely dead yet, so I'm still doing some stuff, but not a whole heck of a lot right now in the process of healing. So catch you guys later. Eco considering as always, you know it, you love it. And of course, ribcage aside, I'll still be doing some stuff. Catch you guys later and have a good one, and check you guys later. See you guys.